Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Thursday night training call. We've got some really exciting stuff to share with everybody tonight. We've got Wilson talking about part 2 of social media marketing and different things that you can do for free. And last week, wow, he shared some amazing tips, and I learned a lot. I'll admit to everybody, I'm still a little bit old school when it comes to social media and technology. um, I get around, but just something I wanted to mention before Wilson starts on part 2 is a lot of people send me messages going, "Oh my goodness, I don't understand how this works. It went over my head." I said, "No, what Wilson's explaining is certain things that you can do." And Wilson has a way of explaining it in layman's terms. So he's teaching everybody step by step how to take social media to the next level. But what I want to share with everybody is me as an old school type of person. I'm just going to share 2 things that happened with me in the last 3 days with regard to social media. So I still put my normal posts on Facebook. You guys have seen me doing the different patch parties wherever I go, and I'm seeing people. We always holding patches, and I make a reference to LifeWave in one way or another. And I get a lot of people sending me messages on Messenger. But in the last 2 days, what happened is my girlfriend Lucinda tagged me in a post that she put about LifeWave. And because she tagged me in the post, a friend of mine in Hong Kong, who is a marathon runner, sent me a WhatsApp going, "Chris, oh my goodness, please tell me more about this. I sent him all the information yesterday." And that's just because of as George mentioned just now, continuing and doing everything on a consistent basis. And then today, a friend of mine, I saw him posting information about a friend of his barbershop in Johannesburg. And so I sent him a message. I sent him pictures the last couple of days on our group. You've seen some of the pictures of the hair growth of people. I mean, look at Wilson at the moment. In 2 months' time, Wilson's going to be sitting here like a Rastafarian with a mop of hair. Look at that already.
I looked in the mirror this morning and I said, "Wait a minute, it's closer. The gap is less. Is it really like that?" And I had a really good look, and yeah, the gap's less. And I was like, "Wow, there's all these little." So I tried to take a picture of my head in the bathroom, but it was a disaster. So I have to wait. And then Ingy told me do what do you call it? Turn the thing around the selfie, but that didn't work either. I'll wait till it comes and takes a proper picture.
So we need a selfie stick, George.
Well, the selfie pics, exactly. You have to teach you to use the angles. So what happened was I sent him some of the pictures, and he replied back saying, "Oh my goodness, what is that?" So I sent him the 2-minute clip and the Start X39 website, and he came back to me saying, "Oh my goodness, the person that I was talking about owns 80 barbershops, and he wants more information." So, and this is just because I saw a post of somebody on Facebook, and that gave me an in to send him a message. So, that's what I do on a very basic level. So, and what Wilson is talking about is things on a bit more of an advanced level. So, don't get overwhelmed with what Wilson is sharing, because, like I say, it's just step by step how he's teaching you to utilize social media and to get the most out of it.
So look, I gave up with social media from about 2016 and have stayed well away from it. I kind of started in 2006 and went, "Oh, can't cope with this anymore at all." And I got a message here from Dr. Ali, who's on the call this morning, saying, "Oh, you haven't added to your status." And I went, "Oh, I'm going to have to figure this out." So what I want to say here is, look, everybody does what they're comfortable with. What we want to do is everybody who wishes to reach either a figure in their pocket or reach a certain rank in the LifeWave organization, I'm very clear. I want to be senior director. Wilson, that is the same. Chris is very much the same. I think Desiree is the same. I think Helen's the same. I think Ingi is the same. Kenneth, I haven't spoken to, but I'm guessing he's the same. So with that clear, that's the first thing that we need to have clear. Where do we want to go to? And like Javi says, he's going to be talking a little bit about this as well. Let's with anybody who's clear where they want to go, let's sit down with you and figure out, a time scale. Javi's all about also writing a date. He wrote a date down. I want to be presidential director by April. It happened in February. So he actually gave himself a timeline. I haven't done that. When I want something, I just keep it in my head, focus on it every day, all day, and just keep it there. However, what I was saying about social media, I think I'll say it this way: every way that one reaches out to people is valid. I reach out. I don't use social media, and I may do one day, but knowing myself, I probably won't. I do it the way that I do. I think people come to my mind. I dig them out of my address book. I get in touch. Just now, a friend of mine called me after I'd been reaching out to him for the last month and a half. And also other people just turn up, either new people in my life or people I haven't even thought of that I bump into. So, and I could bump into them physically or digitally, more likely digitally because I live on WhatsApp and Zoom these days. However, so what I'm saying is, for some people, I believe they may have thought you have to do it with social media. No. Use social media if you care to and if you enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, do what you do enjoy. One of the things that Javi and I were saying on a call just earlier was we're having a lot of fun. So do it in a way, consistently, with persistence, with consistence. Obviously with passion. I have passion. It's natural passion. It's not like something that's intellectual. It's the everyday, the stories that come from people. Today I helped somebody, or was it yesterday, or was it this morning? I've forgotten, with a password issue. And then, that was yesterday. And today I put it on the group. She sent a message saying, no, yesterday is when she said it was the first time she's driven a car in 10 years. This is huge. These kind of things, when, this is not the normal thing you hear. The testimonial that just went on the group a little while ago about somebody in his pain. These are not the kind of things we hear normally. We hear the opposite. So having these daily miracles is what makes the rest of it work. Also, would like to say that not this group here, but I've discovered there are some people who are a bit, how shall I say, coy or shy about saying, yes, I like to make money on my life. Or maybe they feel, yes, we like the health benefits that LifeWave will offer us, but we think it's a bit wrong, or we're fearful to talk about this as a business. So I kind of want to knock that on the head as well. Anyway, I'm rambling a bit. Maybe Chris wants to comment on the things I've said, or maybe Javi does.
Yeah, I think I can definitely echo what you're talking about. I think what happens is when we make the decision going, I'm only going to share the product. I don't want to get involved in the business side, so I'm not going to share the business side. You need to let the person decide for themselves, because what you're doing is you're sort of prejudging, and that's the same as when you're initially contacting a person. I'm talking about when we go back down to basics. One day we'll do a very good basics training where we talk about, going right down to making your name list and at first contact, those types of things. And when you're making that name list, not prejudging meaning you've already decided, no, this person's too poor, or this person's too rich, or this person's too busy, or too whatever. We make up our minds for somebody else. And so many times what we have in our mind is very different to what's happening in their head. And I've seen this over the years, where a person goes, oh my goodness, I told this person about the business and I thought they would never be interested in it. And those are the ones that come on board and run with it. And it also works the other way around, where you think to yourself, oh my goodness, this person will see the business opportunity side of this immediately, and they don't. So it just shows you you don't know. So all you have to do is put the information forward and let them
plug the people in, plug them in, let them know that there are these things available for them.
That's right. Yeah. And I'm also in space where many times we've heard our leaders, when I was watching the Best Year Ever conference, there's a certain common denominator thread that came through on most of the people talking, and they said, let the product do the talking for you. Let the product do the work for you. And that came through really, really strong. And when the people start to get the results in the product, you can't keep it to yourself. You cannot keep it. You're going to share it. And what happens is we've got to be very careful where I spoke earlier on before we started the meeting is you get very excited and you feel like there's a lot of information to share and you just want to try and like get a conduit from your brain into the other person's brain and share everything all at once. You've got to be very careful about doing that because you can overwhelm a person. I call it puking on a person. You just, too much information too quickly. You're trying to share everything you have in your head. You've just pushed this person away so quickly because you don't have a second chance to make a first impression. Always remember that. I've spoken before about the concept of drip feeding. There's enough information to give people little bits of information at a time. And that falls into the AIDA concept, attention, interest, desire, and action. And if you follow those 4 steps, and to get a person's attention, you've got to give them a little bit of information beforehand. Don't give too much information too quickly because you're going to overwhelm. It's way too much information because they've never heard of LifeWave. They've never heard of the patches. And now you send 10 clips in a row, 6 testimonies, 6 websites, and you're just sending message after message after message. That person's going, whoa, this is too much. And then they shut off. So I just wanted to share that with everybody because I've got to hold myself back because listen, I get excited and I've got to go, Chris, slow down. Just remember the drip feeding. You go to a hospital and you get a drip put into your arm. They don't take that whole saline drip and squeeze it into your body. It will kill you. That's why the nurse has to regulate that little dripper and it goes drop, drop, drop. That's how you've got to do it. You've got to drip feed the information to a person.
I would add that you have to.
Go for it.
I would add that you have to use your own criteria as well because everybody's different. Some people you can drip a little bit more, and some people you need to drip a little bit less.
You regulate it. Because you know that person better than anybody else. So, so I'm just trying to think. I saw Harvey was on. Should we let Wilson take away and then
let's see. Let's ask Javi how his time is. Javi,
okay.
How's your time?
I'm not good. I just want you guys to lead. I want to learn. I have my notepad here ready. I have my notepad here ready.
Great. So for anybody who doesn't know, Javi's our upline. I think you all know Javi already from who I can see on the call. So, yeah. Wilson, the floor is yours.
Wilson, the floor is yours. My brother.
Okay, beautiful. So there's a couple things I want to touch on tonight. I don't want to go too technical. I have to be honest with you. Last week, I shared with you the most powerful thing I've figured out within social media. And that's about as good as it gets. Guys, if you can click what I did last week and you can go through that video again and you can apply what I shared last week within closed groups, you can make it rain, literally. I know it's a bit above everybody's heads. So what I decided to do for tonight is just talk a little bit about how I do social media, just in general, because there's many different approaches and there's no wrong one. You can be like a bull in a china shop and every 5 minutes post something. Or you can post something once a day. Some people post something once every 2 days. And I wanted to talk just about the basics of this. George said something that's very important. One thing I want you guys to understand is that all these platforms, Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, uh, TikTok, YouTube, all of these things are free. When I say it's free, you don't pay for any of it. Yes, you can do paid advertising on all of them, but it's literally freeways, channels where you can broadcast these amazing stories that's busy happening all the time. And I want to quickly just show you what my thread looks like on Facebook. Just to give you an idea, I do it. Now, like I said, there's no right, there's no wrong. There's always room for improvement. There's so many tips and tricks about social media, and people discover things all the time. But I quickly want to show you guys what my thread looks like and what I've been posting, because I think you'll be surprised. So if you go into my actual profile, you'll say very quickly, I say, on Ryan, business developer, stem cell rejuvenation patch, DM me for details. And let's quickly look at my posts. So this was actually the first post I made in a while about LifeWave. It was my little certificate that I got. Very happy about that. Very shocked that rocked up there. And it's actually the first thing I posted about LifeWave in a while. And I quickly tagged Chris there in the post. But look at my previous one that I wrote there. And this is something that I do. I go look for motivational things. Got a couple motivational groups. I can go make a list for you guys. And there's content like these little messages. They come out every day. And I save them as they come in. The biggest thing with social media has got to do with engagement. And if you do business all the time, your engagement drops. People want to see you having fun with your kids. They want to see you doing something cool. They want to see you eating something nice. For example, the moment you just do business, you sort of lose traction with people because it's ultimately social media. They want to see, what are you doing in your life? Surely you can't just be working. So that was my Valentine's Day message. I do something fun as well. I like posting joke memes. And I'll get serious. Some of them is I'm not yet to fit into anyone's world. I'm building my own. And this was my favorite post of the week. Impress her with something expensive. Isn't that funny? Petrol. So if I now go back there, this is a friend of mine that passed away over the weekend. Rest in peace, aka. And again, something a bit motivational. The quiet I become, the more I hear. And I hope you can see this pattern of mine. I get some nice engagement. There's like 10 views, the odd person share it. And here's me and Chris. Boom. We did a nice session together where we brainstormed about these sessions that we're having right now. And we got some traction there. And you'll see, I'm not spamming people the whole day, every day with LifeWave. I'm not doing that. I'm literally every now and again, I'm drip feeding people, just like you need to drip feed people with information when you send it to them. You do exactly the same thing on social media, especially on Facebook. Facebook is a bit more personal because people can share their opinions. So that is literally what I'm doing. I'm finding some motivational things. I'm posting that. I keep it friendly. Every now and again, I will literally post something really profound that I find. Some of these things that people share with me is amazing. I actually want to scroll down to the post. Look at this was like one of the first posts I've done for LifeWave. And did you see how long it took me to actually do a LifeWave post again after this one? So all I said, yeah, everyone got their patches. Can't wait for the healing that's about to happen. And I shared some testimonials, the website, some of the pictures. And just because it was business, it didn't get that much engagement. It's funny how that works. Over time, that's definitely going to change because our team is growing and more people are commenting on these posts. And just know something, guys. If you're friends with me or Chris and we're posting and you're liking it, we might be signing somebody up in the leg that you are. So engaging on these posts is the secret. We want engagement. And just to quickly talk about the algorithm of Facebook, just to explain that quickly. Now, I've got 3,000 friends on Facebook, for example. I post something. Doesn't matter what it is. I post something. If nobody likes it within the first couple minutes, Facebook doesn't show it to all my friends. In actual fact, they show it to a very small percentage of my friends. And the more people like it and the more comments it gets, the more Facebook opens it up to my actual friends list. I don't know if you guys knew that. I mean, the fact that I've got 3,000 friends means nothing. They need to engage with my posts. So just doing business all the time, it hurts your engagement because people don't want to see business all the time. It's just how it is. It's your social media platform. So me, by varying it up a little, you can see my engagement actually went up. If I now look here, and we go to the next post, because I was drip feeding them with this information and doing these motivational things, my next one immediately, boom, 22 likes and 10 comments. And that's how Facebook starts opening up this actual post that you see here to firstly everybody in your actual community or your friends list. And that's dependent on how many friends you have. I've been on Facebook for many years and I've got 3,000 and something. But the moment you get traction on a post, Facebook, if you get a lot of traction, if people like what you said, and just on that note, get creative with what you're saying. Get interest so people comment. If you get enough traction on a post, Facebook will start showing it to people that you don't know. And this is what I'm trying to create with these posts. Literally every day I'm posting something motivational. If there's something major that happens, then I will post it. But where I am superly aggressive, guys, is in my stories. My story actually just started. I'm not going to post another one right now because it's just going to take more time. In my stories, I literally do it almost every 24 hours. I hit people with information there. And you can be as aggressive as you want in there. In your thread, it's a different thing because, for example, somebody now, if I just quickly go back to my profile, if somebody now laughs at my Valentine's Day picture, and it's somebody that hasn't looked at my profile in a long time, what they're going to do, they're going to click on Wilson Fury, they're going to go look at my profile and see what I've posted. And if they see me posting just business stuff all the time, the chances of them getting a hold of me is a bit less. I must be honest. That's what I've found. So that's just the basic underlying rule. Don't get me wrong, guys. There's no right, there's no wrong here. You can do 4 posts a day if you had the time to do it. I'm drip feeding people with information, just like I'm doing when I speak to them. Now, this is Facebook. Tonight, I really want to touch very quickly on Instagram. This is not going to be a lesson on how to use Instagram, but just know something. WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram is one company. They're all integrated. So using the 3 together can be very powerful. And any of the leaders here that's going to take this seriously is going to start getting an income from this. They're going to start doing really well. And it would be clever to take a portion of that money and start doing paid advertising on these platforms, because you could really scale it and get a hold of a lot more people a lot quicker. And this is the idea of me showing you how to do WhatsApp stories, how to do Facebook stories, how to do posts on Facebook, how to do posts on Instagram. If you're consistent with just those 3, and guys, when I say consistent, there's so much info being shared with us already. It's literally just taking a half an hour of your day and sharing something that happened. And our group, the testimonies are just coming in every day. There's so much content, you don't actually have to go look for it. So just to quickly open up an Instagram that I started. And on Instagram, I'm a little bit more aggressive, and I'll tell you why. On Instagram, I do very, very similar thing. I do a motivation, and then I do something about LifeWave. Now, if I quickly go open this post, a single move in the right direction can change your life. I really, really love that. And if you now look at my actual post, I click on it, and this is what I've done. You'll see there's 6 photos. that I've posted, and it's literally in the middle of your screen at the bottom. There's a plus sign. You can post a post, you can post a story, you can create reels. I mean, you can get very creative with Instagram and create all sorts of amazing videos with sound and I literally do posts and stories. And just this story, if I know, it's basically creating a story. There's the second picture that I put in. There's the third one. There's the fourth one. And then I'll say, start x39.com DMD for details. And in the caption, yeah, I wrote my first testimony. I told them this is where it all started. It was with my mom struggling with her back pain. Boom. That's literally the post that I made. And it's just duplication. It's being consistent. Did 500 people hit me up while I'm doing this? No, it doesn't work like that. If you're consistent and you're sharing things regularly, just like people being drip-fed information, at some point, people are going to ask you what's going on here. And that is ultimately what I want you guys to start looking at. If you're serious to come with us to senior director, to come with us to senior presidential director, this is a really, really good way to, for free in the beginning, get traction, share with people what's going on. And that's all I'm doing, guys. This is literally a copy of what I've done on Facebook. And then I'll say another thing motivational, and then I'll do another actual post for LifeWave. Now, something that I learned within Instagram, which is very interesting, if people now open up this profile, for example, the first thing they're going to see is the first 9 pictures when they look at your profile on their side. And the reason why I do something motivational and then something about the X39, and I'm using the same picture for X39 every time, what I found is it creates this pattern. If you do one motivational, one X39, and as you can see there, you can see the only thing that's repeating on these 9 pictures is X39. And what this does, because of this pattern right there, people tend to then look at all the actual posts. And you'll see that you'll get likes on all of them, because somebody will open the first one and say, wow, look at that. And then they'll look at the second one. Just a small little trick that I've done within actual Instagram. And guys, yeah, again, this is not hard. At the bottom, there's a plus sign. When you want to do, what do you want to do? You want to do a post, you want to do a story, you want to do a reel, you can go live. Guys, going live on any social media platform will get the most traction because people look at live content. That's how it works. You can go live. You can create your own closed group on Facebook and go live every day if you wanted to. And the sky's the limit. I know George said he doesn't like it, but my hope is that over time, people at least just start sharing the things that's busy happening in our group on social media on a regular basis. And do it in the way that I said. You don't have to keep bashing people with information every day, but hit them in the stories, because that you can do 24 hours and people keep looking at that, and at some point they're going to get a hold of you. Some people need to look at your ad, or when I say ad, your info 15 or 20 times before they're going to get a hold of you. Some people maybe 50. Other people will look at a pic that you're showing. It resonates with them immediately and they get a hold of it. And by doing WhatsApp stories, Instagram stories, and Facebook stories, and by just sharing this content that's coming in every day, it will do something. Now, it depends on how many people you have in your community. There's a lot of variables. But with these amazing results that we see, guys, like, we're going to get major traction online. The things that we are sharing and the things that are happening, it's literally the opposite of what's happening in social media. So I don't want to go into too much detail on how you use Instagram. Guys, you can literally Google absolutely anything on how do you post, how do you make a story, how do you do a reel. You go onto Google, there's videos for every single thing. But one thing, if I could just stop my share here quickly, one thing that I'm very passionate about is just for people to start thinking of using all these free platforms. You know, Facebook, you can share opinions. You can actually write something and you can post photos. Instagram is only photos. TikTok is only videos. It's like the next generation. It's only videos in there. Twitter is also opinions. That's also been around for a long time. All these things are free, guys. None of these platforms you pay anything for. Yes, of course, you can do paid advertising on all of them. But we are getting content in on a daily basis. And sharing it will definitely make a difference over time. And being consistent is where the magic lies. One morning, you will send a testimony that's going to resonate with somebody that's been looking at your posts for the last 2 months. And that morning, you send a testimony because their auntie's got exactly that issue. And boom, they get a hold of you. And what happens is that people start with social media and then they lose traction. They're like, this doesn't work. And let me tell you, in that moment where you quit was the moment that you just had to post that one more post and somebody would have contacted you. It's just funny how that works. The moment you think this is not working, I should quit. That's like when you're close to the breakthrough moment. And it's just literally consistency. You can do this every day. You can do this twice a day. You can do this just on WhatsApp. You can do this just on Facebook. You can do like I do it. If my getting into a habit of sharing these amazing things happening could literally save somebody's life. It could save somebody's life that you don't even know. That's the beautiful thing about getting into the habit of just sharing with people what's happening. So just one thing I also wanted to touch on. How do you communicate with people? Let's now say you've got stories up, people start asking, what do you do? So we could sit here for the next 3 hours and talk about this. And I'm sure Javi could really give us big input because his communication skills are like next level. But for me personally, if people ask me for info, especially on WhatsApp, I make sure I get their number. If I don't have their number, if it's on Messenger on Facebook, I make sure I get their number and I call them. That is first prize. You phone someone. You either give them a video call or you take them into a Zoom or speaking to somebody face to face and telling them a story, even if you don't have one, the impact that you're going to have with that person is 10x. If you want to bomb 100 people with messages in WhatsApp or Messenger, good luck. It's not going to happen. People don't look at messages. You need to engage with that person first, get his interest, then send him info, then they'll look at it. And what I personally do is I just keep drip feeding some of the people that I've contacted with some of these testimonies that are coming. And every week, I'm just, as there's something beautiful that's happened, I share it. And I'm busy with big networkers that I'm like reeling them in. Every week, it's like I'm reeling them in a little closer. And every week, there's somebody contacted me that's like, hey, you're consistent. What's going on here? What's happening? And that's how all of this works. Social media, how we communicate with people, it all ties in to drip feeding people. And there will be a breakthrough moment within that person where that's all they needed to actually get a hold of you. Last week, I also said the word close. And let me make something very firm here. I've not closed a single person into this business. I've got 131 people in my team. We don't close people into this business. We tell them a story. We tell them a story, and that story, they close themselves. And after they've seen a couple of stories, it's literally that one story that you tell them that cracks the door open and they want your link and they want to get badges. I've literally not closed a single person. Now you can get technical with that because ask questions. Ask people how they're doing in their health. Guys, I can't explain to you the things that's coming out of people's mouths when they ask them, how are you doing? How's your health doing? People are sick. Like the timing for what we're doing here is so impeccable. And if you know exactly what's wrong with a person, then you go look for exactly the right testimony and you literally hit them with the info that they need to hear. And that's how you can exponentially get somebody to a place where they close themselves and they're like, cool, send me a link, I'm in. So that's just something that I wanted to just share with you guys. The last thing I could say about communication, especially on WhatsApp, one of the things I learned that really made a massive difference, you know, even when you've spoken to somebody over the phone and you've chatted to them, they don't always look at the information. It's so funny how that works. You know, Inge, for example, I phoned her very quickly. She was super busy. I sent the info. I think it was 2 weeks later. She looked at it and then bam, she phoned me immediately. And it literally took 2 weeks. It literally took 2 weeks for her to get a hold of me. And this is how it works. So one of the tricks that I learned to get people to look at the content quicker is recording a voice note. Now, anybody that's walked a path with me in the past knows that this can really make magic. A voice note is really awesome, guys. You can record 20 of them, and you're going to record that perfect one. If you keep sharing voice notes with people about why you're excited about the results some of the people are having in the team, what happens is you'll send a voice note one day. That will be the perfect voice note. This is now after you've done it a couple times. And the moment you have that one, you've sort of got the template. And what I like doing is I like to create a voice note on exactly what this is, why I'm excited about it, get it like perfect. And then before I send info to anyone, I send them that voice note. And what happens is they listen to the voice note, that gets them really excited very quickly, and they look at the info immediately. The moment they look at the voice note, they're going to look at the info. And what Chris said earlier is very important. Don't send them 500 links, guys. And what George also said, gauge the person. Some people are open and they want 500 links, but it's 1 in 100. There's so much content here, and we'll lose people very quickly by sending too much information. So that's just some of the things I wanted to touch on today. Social media isn't hard, guys. We've got so much content coming in every day, videos, photos. All we got to do is just share it. And all these programs, all these platforms, literally every single one of them is free. You register on Facebook with your email address. Same with Instagram, same with YouTube. It's literally an email address. You get an account and you can start creating content. And if we just apply some of these platforms together over time, I can't imagine what's going to happen the moment we start throwing paid advertising at this, because I can tell you now, I know there's leaders in this group that's coming with me to senior director. And once we had senior director, we can really scale this. This is why I'm so passionate about talking to you guys about using these different systems. There's going to be a moment where we're going to automate all of this, well, a lot of it, and then throw like money into advertising and really scale this. I want to get to 300 people a month. Then I want to get to 1,000 people a month. I saw a lady signed up, I think it was 1,000 people. I don't know if it was in a month. Other ladies signed up 300 people in a month. That's the type of business I want to do. And the people that we're looking for online, we just need to build the processes and know exactly what we're doing to really get to them. And by sharing and being consistent, it's literally copy and pasting what we're seeing on a daily basis, and just in a systematic way, also drip feeding like we drip info, just making your point. And the people come to you. I don't go look for people, guys. Okay, cool. I'm not signing up 300 people, but the people are coming to me, and the right people are coming to me as well. I'm not looking for anyone. I'm looking for the right person. I'm not looking for everybody, I'll be honest. I'm looking for somebody that either wants to feel better or help other people feel better. That's the two people that I'm looking for. I'm not discriminating. If you don't want to build this business, great. Just use the patch and feel better. If you want to build a business, let's go. Let's go. Let me show you what I did in the last couple of weeks. Let me show you what Chris has done. Let me show you what Javi's done. You know, I'm just humbled with what we're doing here, guys. And the reason why I'm so serious about social media, and I always have been, guys, people need this patch. This week, a very good friend of mine passed away. He just didn't want to listen to me. I asked him, like, I know you're sick. Please, I want to send you some patches. He was like, no, I'm not going to try it. When Neil's Crypto, he passed away a couple of days ago. And you know, that for me, it's the reason why I'm using all these platforms and sharing all these things. Because for me, it's a life and death matter. Some of these people really need these stickers. They don't know it yet, but I know it. I can see what's happening here. And that's why I'm so passionate about sharing these things that I've learned. Guys, I'm not a guru when it comes to this. Yes, I've spent a lot of time, but there's so much still to learn. And it's very serious for me what I'm doing here, guys. This is a serious thing. This is potentially going to change somebody's life. It could potentially save somebody's life. And that's the beautiful thing that we're doing here. And yeah, just get serious, guys. Like, if you want massive results, take massive action. And the only way to get to that exponential curve within your own business is consistency. It's by every day taking a bit of time and getting it done. I don't care how busy you are. Make a half an hour, 30 minutes. Guys, you can make magic if you're just consistent with a half an hour a day. Just 30 minutes. I've got friends in this group, not on this call, that are 100 times more busy than I am. Even they are taking a bit of time. One of my friends is taking, like, I think 45 minutes in a week, but he's getting results and people are coming in. Okay, only one a week, but the point is, you need to decide what you want from this. You need to set targets. You need to say how quickly you want to become a manager. How quickly do you want to become a senior director? Do you want to go for gold and go all the way to the end? Like, you're going to make these things clear for yourself. And then you need to decide, okay, how much time am I going to allocate every day to this? Because it's minimum a half an hour. If you can just consistently spend a half an hour on this, you can literally easily bring in one person a week into this business. If you can dedicate 5 hours a day, you could 5x that. So it's literally dependent on you. And I really hope you guys found value there. There's a couple of things I'm going to touch on down the line still. Closed Facebook groups is a great way to also share information with people, because you can set rules. That group that I shared with you guys last week, you can create your own group like that. And that's something that I'm going to create my own group. I'll record a video and show people how to do that, because that's also a fantastic way to get the community involved and sharing testimonies. And there you can also be aggressive. You can share things all the time. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I don't know if anybody would like to add anything that I said there, or want me to elaborate on something. If there's anything you didn't understand, but I hope you guys take massive action and come join us there at Senior Director. I want to see who gets there quicker. I want to see who's going to be the one that's going to get there first, because there's a couple people that's going for it. And I know I've got my money on, but I'm excited to see what's going to happen. I mean, there's people hungry here, and I think this magic's just going to keep continuing.
Totally. Thank you so much.
Wow, awesome. Thank you so much, my brother. That was absolutely amazing. You see all the pieces of paper. I've been like writing notes here like you have no idea. And this is stuff you can implement immediately. Practical.
Guys,
thank you.
There was one thing I didn't want to share. There's one thing that I have to share with you guys that I forgot. It's actually the most important thing, because it could really make a difference with social media. Let me quickly share my screen. Sorry, I just have to interrupt myself there, because there's literally one important thing I just quickly wanted to touch on. You guys know what a hashtag is. Chris, do you know what a hashtag is?
Yeah.
Yes, I know what it is, but I've heard the word handle and hashtag, and I was actually asking you, what does hashtag mean?
So let me tell you, this is actually an Instagram thing. So I'm going to now, for exactly, say hashtag entrepreneur. Boom. Let me now blow your mind. So Instagram started with the hashtag section within their website. So if you put in a bunch of hashtags after a post, and now guys, you can get very technical here. There's softwares that you can buy that can pick your hashtags that are like perfect. The more time you spend on hashtags, the better. I'm going to show you what I quickly did with hashtags just very quickly, but if I now click on entrepreneur, you see there, it's 94.1 million posts. Look here. So in the hashtag entrepreneur, 94.1 million people tagged this hashtag. What this then does is, there's people on Instagram, because Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp is all connected. There's people that's literally just going on Instagram, looking for great content here, and that's how they find your page. So if you now click on that picture, for example, boom, it takes you to this page. This is a page that's like 500,000 followers. Now, there are hashtags for absolutely everything, guys. Any niche, anything you want to say. Now look at entrepreneur life, boom. And by putting hashtags on posts and getting clever with your hashtags, you can attract people that's looking at content through this actual portal that we're looking at now. They have no idea who you are. They literally just could click on your link, become a follower, and it's a very good free way to target different audiences. And this is now a thing that's like being used in YouTube. I think Twitter's also using it. Hashtags is a big thing. You can literally create your own hashtag. You can create your own slogan and hashtag. Now, what I do for hashtags, just very, very quickly.
Wilson, just put in, for example, X39. Put in
Let's
LifeWave.
quickly show you guys there. So I love that. X39. Now look there. 17,000 posts. Let's quickly say, you see, X39 stem cell patches is 1,000 posts. Let's quickly click on the 17,000 one. Boom. That's everything that's been hashtagged with LifeWave.
With X39, not with LifeWave.
With X39, well, X39 and LifeWave. I mean, X39 is, sometimes it's not 100% accurate on that actual, but if you now like to go LifeWave, for example, let's quickly do that. So I mean, every time somebody puts a hashtag on a post, it goes into this actual platform where you can view it. And that's how you
put diabetes, for example, or fibromyalgia.
Let's quickly do
not quite. Like me. DIA. Sorry.
DIA. Like that.
I think he chose diabetes because he was thinking fibromyalgia. How on earth am I going to spell that one?
Look there. Boom. So you can hashtag diabetes, you can hashtag cancer, you can hashtag fibromyalgia, trigeminal neuralgia, all the things we've had results for. But the point that I wanted to make is that just by putting hashtags on your posts, you could attract people that you've never met from all over the world. And by putting a bit of time into just finding different hashtags and just putting them in a folder, I just quickly want to show you guys how I do it. So one of the things I do is I go into my notepad, and I literally got my notepad going, and you'll see, here's my hashtags for wellness. And I've literally got I've got it set up like that. So my hashtags are already there, and it's literally, you go into Google, you say health and wellness hashtags or entrepreneur hashtags, and they'll spit you out a list of them. And you save it in your actual notes. You'll see I've already got 4 of them saved. If I quickly go down. So I can do 4 different posts with 4 different hashtags, literally. And I'm going to elaborate on it more because I want to get a bit more technical. I want to have some entrepreneur hashtags with health and wellness hashtags, like start mixing them up, because this is a really, really powerful way to get people to get your content without you knowing. So I just quickly wanted to touch with you guys on hashtags. You guys have been seeing people use that on social media. And the reason for that is because of what you see here. On anything you can possibly think of, you can hashtag it. And somebody's done it. I mean, if we quickly go to LifeWave, let's see how many people have posted any LifeWave content. It would be very interesting to see. 40,000 people, to give you an idea.
Yeah, years ago, I did some Instagram things, and on one site, I put 16 posts, and I haven't done anything since it. It's got 1,600 followers, and all of it worked with hashtags. Thank you for reminding me.
Yes,
posts,
it's something that I had to just share with you guys, because you can use hashtags on any platform. You can use it on YouTube, you can use it on Facebook, you can use it on Twitter, you can use it on TikTok. Any platform, they use hashtags. And it's a great way to attract people that you don't know. And again, guys, for free. I hope you guys can see the train of my training. My goal is to give you guys free tools that you can use. And the moment the money comes in, we scale it. We scale it. You know, this is the idea. We want to scale it. My goal is to scale my team to 1 million people. The only way I'm going to get to 1 million people is if I scale it. I can't get to 1 million people by just speaking to people face to face.
Can I add you something? I did a little bit of numbers at 2 o'clock in the morning. I think it was last night or the night before. So in 1 week, the team between my left and right legs went up 10.6%. So I found a tool for compound interest weekly, and I put that number in, which was just then, funnily enough, 333, like the name of this team.
What?
And it was 333, and I did 10%, 10.6% a week over 52 weeks with 64,000 people. I was like, what? 64,000 people,
And I have to tell you, it doesn't work like that. It picks up momentum. It's not going to stay at 10%. Like, it starts doing this. And the more energy you put into it, my personal goal within this business is to get it to that tipping point where it can't be stopped.
Let me tell you this, Wilson, and for everybody else, in my experience, which is a little, when a leg hits 80 people, it starts to take on a life of its own, and it just, every time you look at it, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So everybody, we've got power legs, but everybody else has got their own internal leg to build out, and that's the bit that at the beginning, the inner leg, which you could say, what do I do? How do I? It just happens. It just happens. If you keep something in mind, people turn up. Like, somebody contacted me today talking about a diabetes charity that he's behind. I said to him, "Oh, I've got something to tell you. We got a call tomorrow morning." A friend, this again is here's patience persistence. A buddy of mine who we used to hang out decades ago, and I reached out to him, and it's taken like a month and a half to finally have a call. We've had some WhatsApp, but he just called me out of the blue this evening. We're both motorbike riders. He's going to come. His daughter's in Barcelona. He's going to come to Spain. Maybe we'll do some riding in the summer. And I said, I've got something to tell you. He said, send me some information. I said, no, I'm not going to send you any information. I'll send you a few testimonials. And I'll send him for the next few days a few powerful testimonials. And then he'll say to me, hey, is this for real? And then we'll have a conversation.
But that's exactly it, George. Like, I'm working with 3 really, really big networkers. And what I've found with the people that I'm after, they're going to come when they're ready to come. And it's not a quick process. And it's literally just like with the patches, just like with social media, just like drip feeding people, it's just consistently sharing with people what's happening here. And that one morning, you're going to say something that resonates with them, and that kicks open the door. And one person that really pulls the trigger in here could bring 100 people into your business over 3 months. Literally, a person that gets active here, it could be 100, it could be 500 people over 3 months. So this is the thing that I've seen this duplicates very quickly. George, how long ago was on 50 people?
Oh, not very long
Probably
ago.
a month ago.
Yeah, I mean, in it might seem a long time, but it's nothing ago.
No, it's, let's say, maybe 3 or 4 weeks. And today I'm on 131 people.
I think the conversation we had was after Christmas when you were unhappy.
Yeah, no, but I'm talking recently.
No, but I'm saying you were basically at the beginning, sometime after Christmas. So we're only on the middle of February now. So that's...
Yes. No, this is the beautiful thing, I'm seeing the exponential growth just kicking off. And it takes time. And the more love you give it, the more love it's going to give you. And I'm humbled with what I'm seeing here, guys. We're seeing the testimonies coming in every day. And just keep sharing them with them, sharing them with us. And let's just keep patching people. That's all we got to do here. That's all we got to do here.
So, thank you, Wilson.